Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our today's section was about English lessons, active voice to passive voice, how to change active voice into passive voice. Active voice, what the meaning of active voice? In the active sentence, the subject is the active or the subject to perform the actions. For example, the cow is eating. The cow is subject, is eating is verb, grass is object. In this sentence, the cow is subject, is eating verb, grass object. It's active voice. In active sentence, the subject is active. Passive voice, in a passive sentence, the subject is no longer active or the subject is acted upon by the verb. For example, the grass is being eaten by the cow. In the passive sentence, as the name indicate, the subject is no longer active, is passive. The subject is acting upon by the verb. Active voice into change into passive voice. He change into him. She change into her. They change into them. Active voice and passive voice rule. The rule is to apply to changing the sentence from active to passive form. The first is the sentence must have object, transitive, verb. If there is no object, then there is a must. Question word who ask the object of active sentence become the subject of the passive sentence. The subject or active sentence into a passive sentence that is preceding the subject word by. The verb usually is verb past participle with preceding by to be. The adjusted sentence is structured by tense. Tense usually in the active and the passive voice. The simple present tense is to make a generalization to present the state of the being or to indicating habitual or repeated actions. Simple presentation yeroo hunda wanti isin ibsitu yaada waliif galaa yaadrimee dhugaa ta'an ibsuu fi waan tahamee amaloota taatee aadiifaman irra deebi'een gochoota ammaa irra deebi'een ibsuudhaaf fayyada akka walii galaatti. Active for simple present tense base form of this is or es form am. In case of a passive, am is are plus past participle. For example, Professor Brown teaches at Hunters. Sonia is taught by a Professor Bronze. Present progressive. The present progressive is to describe an going activity or temporary actions. For example, am, is, and are plus ing. Am, is, are plus being plus ed plus in. The students are learning Spanish. The class are being conducted in Spanish. Present perfect. The present perfect to describing the action occurring in the past but relating to a present, extending to the present. Has and have plus been plus ed plus in. Am, is, and are plus being plus ed plus en. The hunter has opened a language institute in East Harlem. The language institute has been open to relocating students of the main campus. Present perfect progressive. The present perfect progressive to describing ongoing action beginning before now and is still relating to present. Has plus have plus been plus ing. Has plus have plus been plus ing. Hunter has been awarding by BA and MA over 100 years. Active and passive voice in past tense. The simple past to indicate a general or habitual action occurring in the past or at the specific time in the past. Active and passive base plus ed irregular form was and were plus ed or en. Our family brought all our clothes at series when I was young. The clothes were bought by my mother's. Past progressives. The past progressive to indicate an ongoing action in the past or an action continuing through a specific past time. Active was and were plus ing. Was and were plus being plus ed or en. Mary and Paul were dating in those days. One afternoon, Mary was being kissed by Paul when her mother passed by. Past perfect are there. The past progressive to indicate an ongoing action in the past or in an action continuing through specific past times. Active and the passives. Had plus ed and had plus been plus ed plus en. Mary's mother was shocked because she had forbidden her daughter to date. Mary had been kissed many times before that day. Past perfect progressive. The past perfect progressive to indicate a continuing action that began before past actions or at times. In active, had plus been plus ing. In passive, had plus been plus id. An example: a mother had been trying to tell her mothers about Paul for long times. Ego: a mother had been trying to tell her mothers about Paul for long times. This is all about a passive and active voices.